Steve here with Table Rock Tea Company. That's right, it is the crack of dawn. In fact, probably just before that. And today is what we call game day. So this is the start of our WinterLeaf harvest for 2024. It is literally freezing cold out here. I am bundled up as much as I can be, and we're about to do this thing. So we've got tons of workers on the docket over the next couple of weeks. Definitely, if you're interested, give us a call. We'll probably still have spaces available for leafers. But yeah, so I'll check in and do other little video clips throughout the day on the process. But right now I am just out here doing all of the prep work in the field. So getting all the tools that we need for the harvest and all of that, getting ready for my worker, my field hand who's going to come and help me at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's about 7:15 right now. So yeah, stay tuned. You'll see what the rest of this crazy day looks like. So the first stage of the preparation is done. I have these tarps, these blue tarps that you can see between the rows. What these are going to do is they're going to catch all of the prunings that fall so that we can just roll up the tarps, put them in the super bags, and then take them up to the leafers. So it makes it so much easier than what we used to do, which was having to actually go on the ground and pick up all the leaves and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the tarps are 5 feet wide, they're 10 feet long. And if you'll notice from other videos, our rows here are 5 feet from center to center. So what we do is under prune. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And that lets the tarps lay really nicely underneath the plants so we can catch everything. So this is what I mean by under pruning. You can see that the bottom branches have been trimmed already. That was something that was done last month or the month before. And so now those tarps sit nicely and can catch everything. The next step is to actually trim the bushes. And if you'll look, I just use a gas trimmer. I've just got a little, maybe 18-inch. I'd say the longer the bar you can get on it, the better, for sure. But as I trim, we do a dome cut now. So we actually start in the middle and kind of dome it. So the cross section of the plant will look a little bit like a mushroom. Sorry, my speech is a little slurred because it's so cold. My tongue's frozen. But anyhow, you can see that all of the trimmings land on the tarps. And then what I'll do is my helper will go behind me with a rake and just rake the tops so that all of those trimmings will go onto the tarp as well. On the raking part, you can be pretty aggressive. And Feliciana's helping me out. But you kind of almost want to make the leaves bounce. So it also gets a lot of the debris out of there from just the fall, you know, and all of the leaves there. Of course, the pluckers will sort all those out up in the shop, and so we won't have any of those leaves in the mix at all. So the tea world has always been a little strange about nomenclature, and we're no different here. We actually have some weird measurements that we call tarp hours. So you can see Feliciana's carrying these tarps. These are 5 foot by 10 foot, as explained earlier. And basically we calculate how many tarps we need to harvest for the amount of leafers or pluckers that we have in the shop. So if we have, for example, a total of 30 man hours, we call them 30 tarp hours. So we know that in the field we'll harvest out 30 tarp worth for the day. We don't want to overshoot because this stuff can't stay on the stem for more than 24 hours. So once we bring the bags in from the field, they will come in here where people are sorting them out. And we've got these tables and everything like that set up. Everybody's all quiet now because they know they're being filmed. And what they're doing is they're sorting out the good leaves, putting them into the buckets. Those will then get weighed over here, the scale. And yeah, then they go off to the drying process next. So yeah, a lot going on. Once the pluckers are all finished, any of the debris that's left over, we throw out into the fields on the newer plants that are younger, so there's a little bit more, organic matter that's added to the soil. Here you can see a better picture of what we're going for. This row right here has all been shaped, whereas this one we've left this side over to the left because it's along this really steep bank. We'll get that later. Right now we're just going for production. I'll go for pruning later if I need to. But yeah, so we're working down the rows, and you can see it's starting to look like a tea field. Pretty nice. This one, of course, is just half. So you can see the left is done and the right still has to be done. That's because, again, we work in between rows for this kind of harvesting. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to comment or ask questions. Well, now that we've been at this for a few days, kind of jumping back into the field here for our WinterLeaf Harvest 2024. Again, we're working the field here. You can see the blue tarps down to catch all the leaves. And I've got my helper today, Chris, who's been with us for several years now. And of course, Table Rock Mountain in the background. But what I wanted to show you is, so here's all the fields that we still have yet to trim, but this is what it looks like, nice and manicured. So really cool. Always love that site. After the leaves are picked, they go into this dehydrator. We have a multi-bay dehydrator. Usually takes about 6 hours or so, and then they will get nice and dry down to about 4%. And then we will grind them, or mill them rather, and then they'll go into the sachets. The final product, of course, goes into our now world famous WinterLeaf. We'll show you that over here. We are so glad to have it restocked, but this is basically our green tea section. So right here is WinterLeaf. Let me open this up, you can see what it looks like. That's what it looks like loose. But of course, all of our tea is in sachets because that's what our customers want. And we use that in our Westminster as well. These products are, of course, available online. So that's it for WinterLeaf Harvest. I am very, very grateful for everybody who has come out to help us. Definitely could not do it without you guys. We are just too big for that now. It used to just be Jen and I, and so we are thankful for every person that comes out to help us, whether it's our harvesting team or our leafers. We are just very, very grateful. Got, I think, 27% more brought in this year than last year, so that's cool. And we have some techniques for next year that I think we can actually double that. So stay tuned. But personally, I'm quite thankful that it's over. My shoulders are kind of shot running that trimmer for so long, but it's good. So next will be the field prep stuff. We'll prune all of the bushes that were not mature enough for harvesting. We'll still prune those so that they can lateralize. Every time you cut them, they branch out a little more. So yeah, so it is now February 1, and we are back open to the public as of today. So just squeaked it in on another year for WinterLeaf. So it is ready for you to purchase here on site and online as well. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned to see what else is brewing here at Table Rock Tea Company.